Another way to graph lines or to look at our equations of lines is in standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a and b, they have to be integers. So they cannot be fractions. Okay, and so when we're looking at this, we're going to be graphing using our intercepts, whether it's an x-intercept or a y-intercept. So for example, let's say I have the equation 3x minus 2y, and that equals 12. So if I'm looking at this, I'm going to be looking at my y-intercept and my x-intercept. So if I'm looking at my x-intercepts, I plug 0 into y. If I'm looking for my y-intercepts, I plug 0 into x. So it's the opposite of what you see. And so from there, I'm going to be able to find points in which I can graph. So on the left here, if we're working just with the x-intercepts, I'm plugging 0 into my y spot. Well, if I do that, then I'm left with just that 3x equals 12, x equals 4. So now I've got a point here at 4, 0. So I could graph that point. And if you look at the right side here, when I'm looking for my y-intercepts, I'm going to be doing the same thing and getting a coordinate. Therefore, I can actually plug those 2 points onto a graph and connect them. I don't have to deal with the slope at all. I'm just looking for my x and y intercepts. So over here on the right, I've got 3 times 0 minus 2 times y equals 12. We know that 3 times 0 cancels. The negative carries with it. Don't forget that. So I'm going to divide by that -2 to get -6. I now have a point at 0, -6. So with that, you have now found an x-intercept, which gives you a coordinate at 4, 0, and a y-intercept at 0, -6, in which I can graph those 2 points and connect. So I didn't have to rearrange that standard form equation at the very top there and change it into slope-intercept form. I just needed to find the x and y intercepts in order to graph my line. Again, you're still going to be working with horizontal lines as well as vertical lines, and determining how to graph those based on that as well. However, you might be asking yourself, how do I know if it's a horizontal line or a vertical line if I'm in standard form? So with that, if you're in standard form, because we're not necessarily looking at the slope, your A and B will help determine whether it's horizontal or whether it's vertical. So with that, if you are having a vertical, your B is actually going to equal 0. So it's really going to be in the form of AX plus 0y equals C. This will give you that vertical line. And with the horizontal, the A is going to equal 0. And that's how you're going to tell the difference between a vertical line and a horizontal line, because we know we've got 0 for our A and B, determining that. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. They're just going to be asking you to graph based in standard form and to find your x and y intercepts.